Hi guys, I'm Holly and I'm an addict. I was heavily abusing ketamine for about 6 years, but it weren't just ketamine, it was all drugs, anything that I could get my hands on really. And I'm now 10 weeks sober. I went to rehab, stayed there for 28 days, and I am going to be filling you in on everything I learned, all the tools, spreading a bit of drug awareness. I've got a Facebook group called the Stronger Together Recovery Group, which there's another video on my page that shows you what it's called and what it looks like. Feel free to join, anyone is welcome. There's people that have shared their stories of recovery and also people reaching out for help. So yeah, feel free to join, anybody is welcome. I will be making videos about all the tools that I learned to stay sober, how to deal with cravings, how to deal with triggers and emotions as well, because that's a really important point. And then, yeah, also spreading a bit of awareness, because not enough people know about addiction. It is an illness, it's a chronic disease of the brain, and I didn't even know that. I thought I was just tapped. And honestly, like, anybody can be an addict, and I've learned that in rehab and then after that as well. But today I'm just going to tell you a bit about my life story, a bit of an introduction. But yeah, stay tuned, I guess. So my earliest memory was my father kidnapping me. He wasn't allowed to see me and he took me to Newcastle and left me there with a stranger. Other than that, I had a good life. It's just unfortunate that my earliest memories are of him and what he used to do to me and my family. But yeah, other than that, I had a really good life. My nana and granddad and mum and dad, my stepdad, have always been supportive, and I've done drama school, I got a black belt in taekwondo, and I achieved. I used to get all good grades in school, I used to get awards, and I used to try really hard. And my Uncle Steve passed away of a heroin overdose when I was young, about 14, so that was hard. And I've always been raised anti-drug, and I really hated drugs. I never realised that anyone could be addicted to them. I just thought it was a choice, not a disease, and it is. It's a brain disease. And then yeah, I was good when I started secondary school, getting good grades, as I said, and the teachers all loved me. And then I got raped when I was 14, and I'd not even hit puberty yet, so you can imagine. Everyone used to call me frigid because I'd never even kissed a boy, and then that happened, and yeah, it was just terrible. But yeah, after that things went downhill. I had depression, I was self-harming, I was running away, pushed everyone away, and I lost the ability to talk. I just couldn't talk to anybody, and that's weird for me because I was very talkative. Used to always get told off in class for talking, but at least I'd get the work done. But yeah, after that, it just went downhill. And then I spoke to one of my family members and found out that it had happened to them, which really broke my heart, because knowing that it had happened to them as well, and knowing how awful that experience was, it was just, I can't even explain how much it affected me. But yeah, after that it was a downhill spiral, and I started smoking, and I was craving male attention. Not loads of it, I just wanted a boyfriend, I just wanted someone to show me love and love me. I thought I was broken, but apparently it happens to a lot of people. And I didn't know that at the time, I just thought that there was something wrong with me. But yeah, I got with a boy and he smoked weed and sniffed coke, and I hated that. Didn't know that when I first got with him, but I loved him. And I was still anti-drug, so I told my mum and asked her what I should do, and she really hated the fact that I was with him, and that sort of pushed me closer to him in a way. It was weird. But yeah, I got kicked out of school for passing someone weed, ended up falling out with my whole family. I ended up going missing for about a week. Mum had no idea where I was, and then Mum ended up finding me with my nana. We had a big kerfuffle, and then my boyfriend's mum ran in and saved me from the situation and took me to hers, and I ended up staying at hers. This was just after the week, and I ended up having to go to a different school and doing isolation at the different school for 7 hours a day, 7 days a week, with no phone, no nothing. Which yeah, I sort of deserved, but it weren't nice. And my fella actually broke up with me while I was at his house staying there, so I don't know why I didn't just go home, because my mum wanted me home, but I was just sort of rebelling. And I ended up going home, and I smoked weed for the first time because Will had broke up with me, and I thought, well, he chose weed over me because I was giving him an ultimatum and he chose drugs. So I smoked weed, and then literally after that first time I was smoking every day. Somehow I got my GCSEs, and then I got kicked out for smoking from the college that I went to, that I tried so hard in school to get into. I got kicked out. And then I got a job at Salon White as a makeup artist, which I really enjoyed. And then I played Knock a Door Run and got caught on CCTV and got sacked from there. And then I went downhill again. I started taking pills, parks, parties, even in bed. I'd sit in my bed and literally take pills. I'd moved into my nana's at this point because I won't get along with my mum. And I thought it'd be better at nana's, and it just wasn't. It was me, I was a problem. And then I got with my other boyfriend. I was with him for 5 years. I got with him at 17 and started scamming people for money to pay for my drug addiction. I ended up doing a credit card scam in Leicester. I got beat up. I ended up getting scammed myself when I was trying to scam somebody else. And then I was stuck in Leicester with no money left. And I was sat in a welcome break for 34 hours-ish. It weren't nice. Charlie was drunk and he was not great the whole time that we was there. But yeah, mum worried about me all the time and just wanted me safe, by the way. All my mum was doing through all of this was just trying to support me, and I just would not let her. And then I ended up trying coke, and I liked it because it brought me out my shell and it did all this to me, and ended up having it all the time. And then come to one day where I couldn't get coke, so I tried Ket for the first time, and it was cheap. And I didn't know what it did to you, as in the bladder problems, the kidney problems. Like, I just didn't know it was even addictive. And I loved it. Everybody else around me KO'd, and it just levelled me out. I just felt good. And then, yeah, it became almost daily from then. I started 2 more colleges after that, which I got kicked out of both of them as well. And then I got into Grimsby Institute when I was doing media, and I bloody loved it. And I met my best mate ever there, and I'd still say that she's my soulmate. Like, we got along so well. And I was about a year in, maybe, and then got kicked out for having drugs on me, which I was gutted about. And then that was the worst I'd ever been. It was pills, coke, Ket, MCAT, weed, acid. And I figured I was addicted to weed because I wanted to stop and I couldn't, because it wasn't affecting me like it was at the beginning. It started monging me out, and it never used to do that. And then I got a job working around at shows, doing eyebrow makeup, which I bloody loved. Like, I loved it so much, and it sorted me out a bit. I stopped all the other drugs and I was just smoking. And then I got sacked from that for owing one of my boss's friends money for drugs. Writing all this down, I'm like, wow, everything I've lost is because of drugs. Whether it be my uncle, my family, my relationships, my jobs. 1 minute. And then I can't remember the next year of my life after that. Just random house parties and going out all the time and going on benders, going out in town because I was old enough by then. And then I got fully kicked out of my mum's and my nana's, and I started OnlyFans. I made about $8,000 in my first month, and I was like, well, little did I know that would feed my addiction massively. And then I realised it'd be cheap to get a flat because I was staying in hotels all the time, so I ended up getting a flat. I was having randomers around every night, sessions all the time. And then I lost my friend, and my whole world just flipped upside down. And then 2 weeks later, one of my other good friends committed suicide. And I've never ever felt pain like it. Like, I was young when I lost Uncle Steve, but it still always felt like he was here. Whereas these two, it's like they're just gone. And I was sniffing almost an ounce a day, or anywhere up to that. My tolerance was going up every day that I was taking it, and then my bladder started hurting. And I got a dog. I ended up getting a dog. My mum's got him because I couldn't deal with him. I was too poorly. I thought that it'd sort me out, but it didn't. The stress was just making me take more drugs. I kept telling myself, right, I'll do this and I'll be better. I'll get a house, I'll be better. I'll get a dog, I'll be better. And it just never worked like that. I always refused to get help. I don't know why, but I just never wanted the help. And I should have just got it, but I just didn't want it.